So let me ask you something. If something actually happened tonight, would you know what to do? Or would you freeze? Like most people would do? Because learning how to fight isn't about becoming dangerous. It's about not being helpless. You don't learn how to fight because you want trouble. You learn because one day trouble might find you. You want to learn how to fight just in case the worst case scenario happens. Think about it. Would you rather be capable of defending yourself, defending the people you care about, or would you rather, if the situation were to arise, run away, be scared, do nothing about it? That's what it means to learn how to fight. Like I said, you don't learn how to fight in order to look for trouble. You don't gain the ability to fight, to throw a punch or throw a kick, learn how to defend yourself, and then go looking for trouble. That's not how it works. Because you might think that way heading into your first class, but one thing that you learn very quickly is when you learn how to fight, everything kind of calms down. You learn that you are capable of defending yourself. You learn that when shit hits the fan, you can hold your own, and that gives you this level of confidence that not many people have. A lot of people, they like to talk big, they like to act big, act tough, but when you know you can handle yourself in a physical altercation, things start to change within you. You get that confidence. You get that kind of swagger about yourself. So when people confront you, you don't really take it too seriously because you know in the back of your mind, if things were to get physical, if we were to throw down, if you were to throw some silly punch my way, I would be able to defend myself and fight back, right? It's not just being able to defend yourself, but it's being able to fight back in those situations. And again, not many people know that feeling. A lot of people might say it's pointless because the situation might not come up and I'll never get myself in that situation. But the thing is, you never know. Life has its way of giving you challenges that you can't even fathom. So yes, you might not put yourself in these situations, and you might go through your entire life not getting into any physical altercation. That is great. However, there are people out there that are just looking for trouble, and one day you might be that person that gets in their crosshairs. And unfortunately for you, that's just how it is. That's just how some people operate. So again, when you can't back away, when you actually have to stand 10 toes down and hold your own, are you capable of that? And when you learn that you are, there's that confidence that you get that bleeds into every aspect of your life. You just have this confidence like you are the man. And you know that you are the man. When you learn how to fight, you learn something else. You learn how to react when fear is right in front of you. Let's be real. Anytime someone gets into a fight, a physical altercation, you hear it from the best of the best athletes in the world that do MMA, boxing, Muay Thai, Jiu-Jitsu. They all get nervous before a bout. They all get nervous before they have to step into the ring, into the octagon, whatever. But the fighting teaches you how to handle that fear. Because again, a lot of people, when they have fear right in front of them, they freak out, they seize up, they freeze. They don't know what to do. They try to go back to that comfort zone. But when you learn how to fight, and you have fear right in front of you, and the only option is to go forward and go through, That's how you deal with your fear. With professional MMA fighters or even boxers, when you're in the ring, when you're in the octagon, and they lock that cage behind you, you cannot go back, you cannot walk out, you have to go through, no matter how scared you are. And that is something that fighting teaches you. It teaches you that, okay, there's this fear, this obstacle in front of me. How do I face it? I must go through it. And by going through it, you develop yourself. You develop just every aspect of yourself, and you learn that on the other side of that fear is a better version of you. Now, the first time you get hit when you are learning how to fight, it breaks your ego. However, that's when the real growth begins, because everyone has an ego. I have one, you have one. Everyone has an ego until you go into your first class. You do your first sparring session. There's someone that you might think subconsciously, oh, I can easily beat them. They don't look like a threat. All of a sudden, they whoop your ass. They put belt to ass. You walk out of that class and you're shattered. Your ego's ruined. You're like, man, I really thought I could beat them, but I can't. That's when the growth happens, because either you get better or you stay the same. And in order to beat them, you must get better. But again, that ego shattering moment happens to almost everybody when they first get the shit kicked out of them. It happens to everyone. So it's one of those things where it's almost like a rite of passage. You have to have your ego shattered before you can actually grow. Because if you go into a training session and you think you are the shit, that you are the man, your ego will go from up here all the way down here very, very quickly. Now, knowing how to fight doesn't make you dangerous. It just makes you more controlled in a world full of chaos. Again, you don't become violent. You don't learn how to fight in order to become violent and start beating the crap out of everyone. It's about being in control of yourself. Control of yourself, your emotions, your actions. You learn so many different things that just bleed into other aspects of your life that just help you develop as a person, as a man. You learn that you are capable, no matter what situation arises, whether it's physical or not, that you can handle yourself. And I think it's that level of confidence and that level of security that many people don't have. And when you develop that in fighting, again, you just walk around with a certain aura and a certain swagger about yourself. When you learn how to fight, you'll be much more confrontational. Now, I'm not saying you need to confront everyone. However, you'll notice that a lot of people are very afraid of confrontation. Someone says something and this other person should probably say something back, but they don't, right? Someone goes against your own views and values, and you're too scared to maybe say something against them because maybe they're scary, bigger, stronger, whatever. But when you learn how to fight, you become more confrontational when it matters. Again, it goes back to being capable. You know if the situation were to get out of hand, and you know if things were to get physical, you'll be able to hold your own. So, you know that being confrontational really doesn't have any, I guess, downside is what you'd call it. You're much more just confrontational with people. They get on your bad side or they do something wrong. You're much more quick to call them out rather than kind of just sit and stand back. again, you're not necessarily going out of your way to make their lives annoying or anything like that. You're not nitpicking everything people do now. But when something really gets on your nerves, you're much more confrontational. You're like, alright, what are you doing? Back off. And people will see that. And again, if things really do escalate, which in most cases they don't, but in that off chance that it does, then you know you have your fighting to fall back on. When you train to fight, you stop overthinking every situation and you start trusting yourself. Because when you learn how to fight, you can't think too much in a fight. When you're sparring, you can't think, alright, I'm going to throw this combo, then that combo. It's a very read and react sport. So when you are very good at reading and reacting, again, it just bleeds into other aspects of your life. So when a situation comes your way, you look at it and you react in the best way you know how. Right? Again, just like fighting, someone throws up a jab, you might slip it and then come over the top with a right cross. Just like if something were to come your way in life, you see it, you might slip it, and then, you know what I mean? That's just a simple analogy, but you'll just be able to handle things in life much more comfortably. Now, deep down, every man wonders to themselves, can I handle myself in this situation? I'm sure every person watching this video has asked themselves, if this were to happen, could I handle myself? If this person were to fight me, could I really beat them? There's only one way to answer that, and that is to start training. Stop thinking about all these scenarios, stop watching all these videos on YouTube. You've got to start training. Master the fundamentals, get in the gym, hit a punching bag, do something. Because instead of sitting there and asking yourself all these questions, just start doing. Just go hit the bag, go train, go spar. Because very quickly you'll find out if you can handle yourself in these situations. And then again, instead of asking yourself, you'll actually get the answers. And then when these situations do arise, you'll know if you can handle yourself or not. Now, with all that being said, guys, there is a link down below to the Patreon for more videos like this, early access, deeper conversations, more talks, and whatnot. If you guys are interested, again, the link is down below. But with all that being said, thank you all so much for watching. Hopefully you all did learn something from this video. And as always, catch you all next one.